ladies and gentlemen, Rex Babin.
Well, thank you very much. And, you know, a couple of things. First of all, thank you all for coming out here. I can't tell you how much it means to me to come to see you all here. I see some old friends and some new ones as well, so it's really nice to have you here. I think this is a nice opportunity to get all together and talk about fun things like political cartoons. The second thing I need to tell you right off the bat is sort of a disclaimer of sorts, and that is I'm not funny. Okay? I don't, you know, I think people come, you know, with the idea that, oh, there's an editorial cartoonist giving a talk. You know, it's gonna, like I'm some kind of comedian or something like that, and I'm going to be funny. Okay, well, I'm not funny. I don't really consider myself a particularly humorous individual, and sometimes I don't find my cartoons funny. This is a sentiment shared by many of my readers. So I don't mean to disappoint you, you know, but I needed to, you know, lower your expectations a little bit, okay? All right, sorry in advance. So anyway, we established for the record that I'm not funny, but that doesn't mean there aren't a lot of funny things in the newspaper, okay? Oh, here, under the Setting It Straight column here, on page B2, Tuesday, incorrect lottery numbers were published for Fantasy 5 Minute. Now that's funny. That's really funny. Like, imagine the guy on Wednesday going, golly, boss, about what I said to you yesterday. What else is fun? Obituaries are fun. Oh, you think not? Oh, I beg to differ. On October 19th, while piloting the superfreighter, the Grand Tetons down the Columbia River, Captain Jackson collapsed from a heart attack and fell on the ship's control mechanisms, causing the ship to lose control and careen across the river. The massive ship then plowed into the combination sardine canning and dynamite factory on the wharf, resulting in a huge explosion and raining sardines all over town. The radio announcer nearby was heard to cry out, "Oh, the humanity!" Now, you know, obviously that was somebody's idea of a joke, much to the chagrin of our classified advertising department personnel here at the Bee. So, speaking of the Bee, how are we doing? Yeah, you know, this is a world with too many editors. Okay, you know. Gosh, you know, I don't think people will get it. Let's put another label on it, okay? Masters of the obvious. How's the Bee doing? Well, you know, we're hanging in there. It's been tough. Let's face it. It's, you know, it's a tough economy, and the Bee. Thank you very much for subscribing to Bee, keeping us going. You know, we haven't had to resort to medical marijuana ads, for example, like some other publications in town, where we haven't had to, thankfully we haven't had to do advertising about this product. This is a lovely one. Hey, you're in a smoke-filled room? Put a plastic bag over your head. That's a good one. No, we haven't had to resort to those kind of things. Letters to the editor are funny. And yes, I still get letters to the editor from snail mail. You'll see a familiar thread running through these. I see your idiot cartoonist, Rex Babin, is at it again. His cartoon on Wednesday, May 10th was one he should be put in jail for. Okay, you'll see similar thread. It's not so much your political cartoonist Rex Babin is simply controversial. It's more that he's a virtual idiot, okay? Idiot. And then down below, get rid of this guy. Okay, let's see, did I tell you that this is sort of a thread? I've never seen a more vicious nor political cartoon down below. This isn't the first time Babin has gone over the line, just the most egregious. He has no place in a respectable newspaper. Get rid of him, okay? I'm an idiot. Get rid of me. Okay, I get it. I've been accused of spreading vile Babin pablum. Distasteful piece of trash. Unconscionable and sick. Another new Babin low. Only to be outdone by an outrageous new Babin low. Of course, then down below, you gotta learn a little bit. Babin's infatuation with toilet plungers as headgear tells us a little more about him than we really want to know. It's true, I do have an infatuation with toilet plungers as headgear, particularly with former President George W. Bush. Oh, called your low-budget political cartoonist resident embarrassment. Reassign Babin and hire a real editorial cartoonist of the ilk of Jeff Danziger, Pat Oliphant, or Tom Tolles. You know, I can't really argue with that. Those guys are pretty good. That would be a good thing to do. Yeah, they should hire those guys. Additionally, there is no evidence anywhere to suggest that Vice President Cheney is an aficionado of S&M. There is plenty written in its own hand to suggest that Babin has an unhealthy homoerotic fascination with the Vice President. And sometimes we learn a little more about our readers than we care to know. He has the right to satirize our president, but why take it out on those of us who enjoy a little kink in the bedroom? These are letters that we publish, folks. But fear not. Before this is an evening with Rex Babin, so I'm going to share with you something we don't get to publish. You know, one of the things I love to see is when somebody goes out and cuts out the cartoon from the paper and defaces it in some way and then sends it back to me, presumably improved. Sometimes I wonder why I subscribe when I see prejudicial material like this dumb. D-U-M. I hope some nut bumps you off.